Hey guys, this is Will, and today I'm going to be bringing you, this is the first part of like a 10-parter of my favorite movies of all time. I'm going to do my top 100. Yeah, I actually have a list of my top 225, but I don't want to do that. Maybe one day. Um, but yeah, so this is going to be, like I said, the first part, and I'm going to be running through numbers 100 through 91 today. Let's start off with number 100, Evil Dead. This is the 2013 version. Anybody that has not seen it, it's about a bunch of friends, young adults, who go to a cabin in the woods out in, at least in the original, it was Michigan. I don't know if they ever said in this one. And basically, these evil spirits, demons, basically, haunt them, and they kill them. And it's a very, very gory movie, and it's a remake, or more or less a reboot, of the cult classic, The Evil Dead. I actually like this more than The Evil Dead. I like it more than Evil Dead 2. The only Evil Dead movie I don't like it more than is Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness is my favorite by far. But I really, really like this movie. It's incredibly gory, but it's really well made, especially for a remake. I'm really excited to see what director Fede Alvarez does here coming up in the future. It was produced by the three original key members of the film. Bruce Campbell, who was the main character, Ash, of the trilogy, he produced it. Sam Raimi, who directed the trilogy, also produced it, as well as Robert Tappert, who was the producer behind all three of the original films. I love the setting, the music is great, it's just gory fun. It's like an hour and a half, and it's really worth your time. I also definitely recommend the other ones, though, for sure. I'll be talking about Army of Darkness here later, and check out the TV show that just came out, too. Ash vs. the Evil Dead. It is a continuation of the original trilogy, and it is really awesome as well. Number 99, Election. This came out in 1999, so it's no surprise why not many people have seen it, because 99 is probably the best year for movies ever. It's directed by Alexander Payne, who, if you've ever seen an Alexander Payne movie, he's the guy who made The Descendants, he made Sideways. He's a really, really, really good and very talented director, and he was also the writer behind it, along with Jim Taylor, who is his writing partner. And basically the film is about Matthew Broderick, who is a history teacher, and he's really well respected at his school. Like, he's been working there forever, and he's in charge of, like, the student elections, and the girl is, like, who's running, who's probably gonna win, is played by Reese Witherspoon, and she's just this really mean, bratty girl who, like, she's that girl, like, this one person from high school, either it's a girl or boy, we all do, who was in, like, everything, like, student council, NHS, A+, all of those, she had, like, the straight A's, and all. If she got an A- on the test, she'd probably go home and cry, and that's her in this, and it's basically him just becoming obsessed with sabotaging the election so that she can't win because he hates her so much. It is ridiculously funny, and it's really just awesome, and it does a great job of making you both love Matthew Broderick and hate him as well, because he does some things in this movie that are just awful. I really recommend it. It's not very long, and it's hysterical. Like I said, I really enjoy it, and really think you guys will like it, especially if you like darker comedies as well. Number 98, Zero Dark 30. This is a movie that was, how do I put it, controversial? That's a good word to use. It was very controversial when it came out. Be it everybody loved it, and I love it as well. I think the thing about it that I love the most is the ensemble cast. Now, Jessica Chastain is obviously the main focal point. She's the best in it, but you have Joel Edgerton in it, Chris Pratt's in it, Mark Strong, he's in it as well, James Gandolfini's in it, Mark Duplass is in it, Fares, Kyle Chandler, he's in it. Jason Clarke is actually the one that I thought stole the show in it. He was amazing. You had others. There were a lot of other actors, honestly. There was also that guy from Torchwood. Shoot, I can't think of his name. You had Scott Adkins. I could literally go on all day, so I'm gonna stop there. The point being, it's a great thriller. It's based off the true story about getting Osama bin Laden. And it's just really interesting because it's like a day in the life of like the CIA, and it's really fun. I mean, for being a long movie, it's not an action movie. Don't think it's an action movie because it's not. I really, really enjoyed every second of it. You grow to love Jessica Chastain in the movie. She's such a great actress. If you like The Hurt Locker, you'll like this. I don't like it as much as The Hurt Locker, but it's close and it's just a fantastic movie. Number 97, Guardians of the Galaxy. This is a movie I've talked about before. Completely took me by surprise. I did not think I would really like it. It was awesome. It was one of the most original Marvel Studios movies yet. It was one of the most original superhero movies ever. Chris Pratt owns this movie as Star-Lord. He brings great humor, charisma, and like ability to a role, as well as just human emotion. Vin Diesel is awesome as Groot. Bradley Cooper stole the show as Rocket. Zoe Saldana was great. Even Dave Bautista, who played Drax, was great. And I thought was going to get annoying because he's not an actor. He's playing a role that could get annoying on top of that. And I was like, oh. But no, he was awesome. The entire team, I guess, 5-person team. Not person, I guess. One is a person, the other are aliens, but whatever. Point being, they are so likable and just great. The special effects are awesome. It really felt like a Star Wars kind of movie. And, like, I like how it just felt like it stood on its own. Like, obviously it connects to the Marvel Universe, but it felt like it could stand on its own, and it didn't need to connect anything, like, with the Avengers or Iron Man or Captain America or anything like that. The villain definitely wasn't the best, but that's Marvel Studios for you, and I think it's okay because the movie was just, it worked for what it was trying to be, had a great soundtrack, and it was just, it's the most diverse Marvel Studios movie to date, and I hope the sequel is as good, or at least close. Number 98, Animal House. Oh, this is one of my favorite comedies of all time. I love this movie. If you've never seen it, first of all, go watch it. It's basically a movie about this crazy fraternity from, like, the early 1960s, and how, like, they're on this double secret probation and stuff. It's not realistic, it's satirical, but it's actually based, some of the things are based off of, like, things that happened to the writers, like, in college. Like, one of the writers is actually a younger Harold Ramis, who went on to write Ghostbusters. He wrote and directed Groundhog Day. Unfortunately, he passed away, I think, last year. But he was great. You know, he will always be remembered. This is one of those movies he will be remembered through. The movie's directed by John Landis, who also made An American Werewolf in London and Kentucky Fried Movie. This is my favorite of his movies, for sure. This movie is just so funny, and, like, I'm not even in college yet, but, like, I know people that have done goofy things kind of like this before. This is not a politically correct movie, so if you don't like movies like that, you probably won't like it. It does not, believe it or not, though, even though it's very raunchy, it doesn't say the F word a lot. This is the perfect example of how a movie can be raunchy and R and not be dumb, because I don't like a lot of these R-rated comedies like Neighbors and whatnot. I don't like the humor. And I think they overuse the F word, which is a great word used right. You know, check out Tarantino or Scorsese movie if you don't believe me there. But a lot of times I just think raunchy comedies are not very good today. Perfect example of how to make one really, really good is Animal House. It's probably one of the funniest movies, like I said, I've ever seen. You love all the characters, and it's a classic. I mean, it's just a classic, and it's got a great soundtrack. That cannot be forgotten. Number 95, Gladiator. Ridley Scott's one of my top 10 favorite directors, and this isn't my favorite movie of his, but it's definitely one of the top ones. If you have never seen it, it's basically the story of a Roman general who is betrayed by Commodus. He's the son of the, I guess, Caesar or emperor or whatever of Rome. And basically what happened is the emperor says, "Hey, Commodus, I'm going to give my powers actually to Maximus, the general, instead of you, even though you're my son." So he killed his dad in his sleep, so he basically took his powers like that and made Russell Crowe's Maximus a fugitive, put him in jail, and anyway, he decides to Gladiator fight, and that's the movie. It's basically him trying to win his freedom back and get revenge. And this is one of Russell Crowe's better performances for sure. This is probably Joaquin's... Nah, I take it back. Joaquin Phoenix's second. I was going to say his first, but his best performance by far, I think, is actually playing Johnny Cash in Walk the Line. But he's very good here. Connie Nielsen's really good. Oliver Reed's really good. The guy from Unforgiven, English Bob, Harris. Oh, why am I blanking on his name? Harris, he was the original Dumbledore. Oh, well, whatever. He's really good in this movie as well, even though he's in it for all of 5 minutes. He played the Emperor. Digimon Hansu, or I think it's actually pronounced Jimon Hansu. He's really good. It's one of his better performances. The action is brilliant. The music is amazing. Hans Zimmer, as well as, and I'm blanking on her name too, be it it's almost 2 in the morning, so that's why I'm not thinking. I think her name's Lisa Gerard. The production design by Arthur Max is amazing. The costume design's great. It's a beautiful looking film, and it's for a long movie. It's almost 3 hours long. I could watch it at least probably once every couple of months. Number 94, Finding Nemo. This is one of the better Pixar films. I grew up with this. I still love it. The story is basically this clownfish, his son is taken from him, and he got turned into Liam Neeson to get his son back, but he does go basically through the entire ocean around Australia to get his son back, who has been, like I say, he's been taken by people who are like putting him in a fish tank in a dentist's office, and this is the kind of story that could have been awful, but Pixar is so good that it's amazing. Andrew Stanton directed it, along with Lee Unkrich, who's also the guy who directed Toy Story 3. They did a great job. The music by Thomas Newman is amazing. He's one of the best composers of all time, because he did the music to Shawshank, he did the music to The Green Mile, to American Beauty. He's got so much talent and just always prevails. Like, he always gives great music, great, sad, memorable music. Willem Dafoe, like, all the voice acting, mainly Willem Dafoe, is fantastic. Ellen DeGeneres is really good. Albert Brooks is really good. It's a funny movie. It's a heartfelt movie. It's equally great for kids and adults, and for me, there is a sense of nostalgia still there. It's not my favorite Pixar movie, but it's definitely up there. Number 93, this is kind of controversial. It's The Amazing Spider-Man. I still like Spider-Man 1 and 2 more than this, but I still really dug this movie. This is more of a comic book version of Spider-Man that you probably expected to see with the original films if you're a comic book fan. It's a very comic booky film, far more than the other ones, be it I do like the other ones more, but that said, I love this movie as what it is. Andrew Garfield was great. Emma Stone was great. Sally Field was a great Aunt May. Martin Sheen was a very good Uncle Ben. Rhys Ifans. I haven't seen him in a lot, but he's the guy who played the Lizard, and he did a great job. He did a great job as Dr. Kirk Connors, making him really likable. I hated the design of the Lizard, though. They really botched that, but whatever. Mark Webb was a perfect guy to choose to direct it because they wanted to make it more of a high school movie. They wanted to make it more of a love story. And it makes sense then to get the dude who made 500 Days of Summer, which is widely considered one of the best romance movies like the past 10 years. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I'm a huge comic book fan. I do really like Marvel. I like DC more, but I still really like Marvel. And I thought this paid great homage to the character in the comics. There were a lot of references to Ultimate Spider-Man, which I love Ultimate Spider-Man, at least the early Ultimate Spider-Man stuff. Um, and yeah, if you didn't like it, I get it. If you do like it, I also get it. It had more action, I think, than the original did. Not more than Spider-Man 2 or 3, but the original Spider-Man. And as a reboot, being a little darker, but also being a little more comical, I thought it did what it tried to do and did it really well. Number 92, Gran Torino. One of my favorite Clint Eastwood movies, and this guy is one of my favorite directors again. I'm going to be saying that probably throughout this video. He's my, like, second favorite actor of all time, and this is just a movie, like, if there is any bit of you that has any racism at all in you, it really does kind of put it in check. It's just seriously about this guy who's a racist, and kind of how he grows. And this is the kind of thing that could have come off as really boring and dull, but with Clint Eastwood, he made it great. It's a dark comedy, and the guy, even though he pretty much at this point just plays himself, does it so well. He has so much charisma. He's hysterical, but at the same time, you can see the anger in his eyes, and he's not the guy you would want to mess with. There are a lot of memorable scenes in this movie, especially the "Get Off My Lawn" scene, classic. But I just think, yeah, everybody did their job well. I think the little boy who played the kid that he kind of takes under his wing, I don't know the kid's name, but I thought he did a pretty decent job. And his sister in the movie, she did a good job. Clint Eastwood's son, Scott, has a very memorable cameo in the movie, playing this kid who, like, is trying to be, like, a gangster kind of kid. But he's, like, the whitest guy you know. One of those kind of things. But yeah, it's a funny movie, it's a heartfelt movie, and for being such a profane and adult movie, the heart I didn't necessarily expect, but it happened and it was well done. The music is really, really good. Clint Eastwood did it, and yeah, he did a great job with that music. Overall, this is a movie I know some people actually find it incredibly overrated. I say give it a shot. Don't go into it with high expectations. Go into it, like any other movie, and you might just really, really dig it. I know I did. I love it, and I will continue to love it for the rest of my life. And finally, number 91, Reservoir Dogs. This is up there with Tarantino's best. This is let me think here. I want to say this is my fourth favorite Tarantino movie. I like this more than the Kill Bills. I like this more than Hateful Eight, Death Proof, and Jackie Brown. Oh, I hate Jackie Brown, but that's a story for another day. So Reservoir Dogs is a very interesting movie because it is a heist movie that doesn't show the heist. It only shows the before and then the aftermath. And it, for the most part, takes place in just two settings with, for the most part, relatively no-name actors, or at least for the time. Now, Michael Madsen obviously is a name, Tim Roth is a name, Harvey Keitel was the only one at the time that was a name. It's basically figuring out who was the guy who obviously kind of gave them up. And they're all at odds with one another. Oh, I forgot Steve Buscemi's also in it. He's awesome. And what's great about this movie is it's a claustrophobic movie with Tarantino dialogue. So the whole movie is just dialogue, pretty much, with very little action. They're just talking, like, how are we going to get out of this? What are we going to do? Who betrayed us? Did anybody betray us? And then, of course, the great line, are you going to bark all day, little doggy? Or are you going to bite? Yeah, some of the best Tarantino dialogue ever is in this movie. Just in general, this is such an awesome, awesome movie. All the characters are likable, even the ones that aren't good guys. Because really, in general, there's only one good guy, and wow, I'm not gonna spoil it. I think the standout in the movie is Steve Buscemi. Oh my god, him playing Mr. Pink is hysterical. Every scene, every second, just so funny. Tim Roth is great though as well. I mean, the whole cast is great. It's literally Tarantino, and this is widely known as one of his best movies. I mean, I don't have much to say about it other than what's already been said. It's a unique movie that was, I mean, it was a landmark for what it was for indie filmmaking, for low budget filmmaking, and for a heist movie that does not show the heist. Like I said, not my favorite Tarantino movie, but obviously I still love it. All these movies on this list I love. Be it I'm sure I've said for each and every one of these entries, I love it. Obviously I do. That's why this is my top 100 favorite movies of all time, but whatever. So yeah, number 91 was Reservoir Dogs, and that's going to be it for this video. So wrapping up real fast again, number 100, that was Evil Dead, the remake from 2013. Number 99 was Election from 1999. Number 98 was Zero Dark 30 from 2012. Number 97, Guardians of the Galaxy from 2014. Number 96, Animal House from 1978. Number 95, Gladiator from 2000. Number 94, Finding Nemo from 2003. Number 93, The Amazing Spider-Man from 2012. Number 92, Gran Torino from 2008. And number 91, Reservoir Dogs from 1992. Sooner or later, you're also going to be seeing my part 2, which I will run through numbers 90 through 81. You have some classics in there, and then some films that might anger you that they're in there, and then a couple that you might have never heard of. So yeah, the next one should be quite interesting. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you continue watching our videos, and I will catch you guys later.